The hand that extinguished the lantern, the mosque's dark secret. The first time Omar heard about the abandoned mosque, he was just a child. His grandmother used to whisper terrifying stories about it, how people who dared enter alone never came out the same. Some claimed to have seen shadows moving inside. Others swore they heard whispers during the night prayers. But no one, not even the bravest among them, had ever dared to spend an entire night there. Years later, on a quiet Ramadan night, Omar found himself standing before that very mosque. It loomed over him like a sleeping beast, its once grand doors creaking with the wind. The village elders had warned him, "Don't go inside. Don't pray there alone. Don't light the lantern." But Omar was skeptical. He had always dismissed the old stories as superstition, the kind meant to keep children from wandering too far at night. That night, however, curiosity won over fear. With a deep breath, he stepped inside. The air was thick with dust and the scent of something ancient, something forgotten. The mosque was silent, except for the faint rustling of the wind through shattered windows. Omar took out a lantern, struck a match, and watched as the dim flame flickered to life. For a while, nothing happened. He recited his prayers, the echoes of his voice bouncing off the decaying walls. But just as he reached the final sujud, a chilling gust of wind swept through the mosque. The lantern's flame trembled violently. And then, before his eyes, it went out. The room plunged into complete darkness. Omar's heart pounded. He reached for the lantern, his fingers trembling, but before he could relight it, he felt it. A cold, skeletal hand pressed over his own. He jerked back, stumbling over the prayer mat. His breath came in ragged gasps as he strained to see in the suffocating darkness. The silence deepened, unnatural and heavy, as if the very walls were listening. Then, from the depths of the mosque, a whisper slithered through the air. "You shouldn't have come." Omar bolted for the door, his legs barely obeying him. He could feel it, something just behind him, breathing against his neck, its presence stretching toward him like unseen fingers. As he reached the threshold, the door slammed shut before he could escape. The last thing he saw, in the faint glimmer of the moonlight, was a shadow standing in the middle of the prayer hall. Watching him. Waiting. The next morning, the villagers found the mosque's doors wide open. Inside, there was no sign of Omar, except for his lantern, cold and untouched, lying in the center of the mosque. The flame never came back on.